Hi everyone, my name is Ilian Abouassi and we'd like to welcome you to our first virtual cooking class in partnership with Culikid. As you all know, today we're going to be making English muffin pizzas. Before we get started, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you all for joining us, as well as tell you a little bit about the American Autism Association. For those of you that don't know, we're a charity based in New York City and Florida that helps families affected by autism. We do this in a number of ways, and a lot of our work has shifted over the last few months because of COVID, but typically we host therapeutic recreational programs such as ballet, soccer, horseback riding that have therapeutic elements to it, but are also very fun and educational. We also have an autism help hotline that assists families all over the country finding resources and information about autism, as well as we do parenting workshops. So this kind of falls in line with both the parenting workshops and recreational programs, as we've made it kind of an initiative over the course of the last few months to offer virtual programming for the families that we support and beyond throughout the country, whether it be parenting workshops or entertainment pieces such as ballet or a virtual cooking class. So we are really excited to have everyone here today. Before we begin, I just want to go through a few housekeeping rules. We ask that you all keep your speaker view on so that our teacher for the day is on the big screen for you. It's very easy for you to watch and stay tuned on everything that she's doing. We are going to keep everyone muted because as you're cooking and chopping and doing what you need to do, there's a lot of background noise. If you do have any questions, concerns, or would like to share anything with everyone, please do put that in the chat. We'll be keeping an eye on that and reiterating any questions that you may have to the cook. Additionally, we'll be sending out a recording afterwards, so if you'd like to rewatch this at any point, you can, as well as with the recipe and guidelines in case this is something you'd like to do again. We hope that you take photos of the final product and throughout, so please do tag My Autism and Culikid to share those photos with us, whether they be in a story or a post. We'd love to see what you're doing at home today. With that being said, I am very pleased to introduce you to Kelly Bly from Culikid, who's going to be our teacher for the day.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Candy, I see you in the chat, and Ariana, and I also see some other familiar faces as well as some new ones. So I'm so glad you are all joining us today. I just want to introduce myself and Culikid a little bit before we get started. For those who don't know us yet, I'm Kelly Bly, Culikid's Executive Director, and Culikid is a nonprofit also based in New York City, and we run healthy culinary programs for individuals of all abilities, including those with autism and other special needs. And our programs aim to teach healthy habits as well as social and independence skills. So I also want to let you know about a couple of upcoming programs that hopefully you'll join us at after this. So we have actually a cooking class coming up on Saturday, as well as one towards the end of the month, pretty similar to this. And we're also starting virtual social skills groups this week. So you'll get all that information in emails afterwards, and we'd love to have you join us. So for today, we are making English muffin pizzas. Who likes pizza? Yes, yes. Me too. That's why we're actually going to do this. I don't know if anybody's made pizza on an English muffin. Anybody? So new. Okay, new, but some of you have done it. That's great. That's why we're doing this today, because this is a really familiar food. Pizza is great. We all love it. And it's easy to execute. So it's going to be pretty easy for this to come together. You'll probably find that you can do a lot of the steps independently. This is a great intro to cooking, which is great because cooking increases our healthy eating choices and likeliness to try new foods. This recipe in particular is really adaptable because we can all try different toppings. And speaking of which, why don't you all take a minute in the chat and tell us what toppings you're using today. That will help us with our cooking class and how what we want to focus on. So if you're all doing mushrooms, we'll focus on mushrooms, you know? So let us know in the chat. There's a little bit of math sometimes in cooking where we're going to talk about fractions when we're doing measurements. There's fine motor skills when we're chopping, stirring, all that stuff. But mostly we're going to have fun, and we're going to end with a delicious meal that you're all going to be really proud of. Let me see what you guys have going on. We got pepperoni cheese sauce. We got pepperoni. Okay, if anybody is not using pepperoni or not going plain, let us know, because that's a little bit of an extra step that I can talk about, but it seems like we can kind of skip over our sauteing on the stove. So if you guys got your recipe ready and you had all your ingredients and supplies, if you're doing pepperoni, okay, I see Ariana's got pepperoni as well. So if you're doing pepperoni, you don't need to use the stove beforehand. So we can just skip that part. So we're gonna skip using the skillet and all of that. If you didn't wash your hands, let's go ahead and do that now. And then the first thing, the other thing we can do now too is that we are gonna use our cutting board for garlic for our sauce. So if your cutting board moves around a little bit, you can take a paper towel, wet it, and put it underneath, and that will make it stable and a little bit safer. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna get started with our garlic. So go ahead and grab your garlic too. All right, I got my wet paper towel, and that is going underneath. So I'm actually gonna show you. So you see it kind of moves around. That's not really the safest. So once I put this underneath, much better. Okay, so also grab your mixing bowl. Does everybody have your mixing bowl ready for your sauce? Awesome. I see Ariana does. Troy, good, great. And if you haven't done a class with us before, what we do is we just give a thumbs up when we're ready for the next step. So I'll show you that. So once we have our garlic, we have to peel it. So I don't know what stage everybody is at, but you'll see my garlic still has this skin on it. So you're just gonna take a few minutes and just peel this off. Okay, it's a little bit intricate. And I'm gonna show you a little bit of a trick. If you got some muscle, you can put your knife on it. This is a nice, safe Culikid plastic knife, and you can just slam it down with your hand. Okay, did everybody see that? Use the heel of your hand, and see my garlic now? Much easier. Oh, look at that. Okay, so once you have skin off of your garlic and you're ready to chop, give me a thumbs up. Okay, I see Griselda has thumbs up. I love the virtual thumbs up that we can do. And I know everybody is muted. If you ever have any questions or challenges, let me know in the chat and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. So I think we're still peeling some garlic. Anybody who is ready for the next step, make sure you have your knife ready. So we're gonna just chop our garlic finely when we get to that. Okay, I think it looks like Ariana and Troy are both ready. Is that right? For chopping? Yeah? Okay, what about you, Teddy? Thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna show you my board again. This is, we have a really small piece of garlic. Hopefully you have a nice, safe knife. You wanna make sure that you're keeping your fingers out of the way. This is what we call a bear claw. You can use your knuckles to hold down your food. And then you wanna hold your knife like this. Okay, not with the finger out. You wanna grab the side and put your fingers around like that. And you just wanna slice first. So we're just going back and forth as tiny as we can get. Okay, so I've gone in one direction basically. So I have slices. A little bit less so because I did smash my garlic, so it's a little bit not slices. Then you can take your slices and turn them because you want to cut them the other way. So you just go. Okay, and we're just like rocking our knife back and forth a little bit and going farther down on the side of the garlic. Okay, so if you have garlic like this could be good. You want it to be as fine as possible. So if you do have a real knife, you might want to grab that now to help you. You can see here, they're a little bit big, like to eat raw, a little bit big for my liking at least. Some people might like big pieces of garlic. So I'm just going to take this. This is going to help me do a little bit smaller. Okay. See, we got a little bit smaller on that one. So once you have those nice small pieces of garlic, put them into your bowl. All right, who's done chopping garlic?
Kelly, someone's saying that they're using minced garlic. How much should they use?
Oh, great question. Thank you for asking that. So it should be about the same because that's what we have now. We just made our minced garlic. So this is about half a teaspoon, I would say. Okay, and you can do like if you like garlic, go ahead and add a little bit more. If you don't like garlic, go ahead and do like 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, and while we're waiting for everybody on that step, the next thing we do will be our tomato paste. So go ahead and grab your tomato paste. If it's in a can, grab a can opener. All right, and are we ready for tomato paste? Yes, 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 yes. Good, we got them all. Okay, so if you haven't opened a can before or used a can opener, I'm gonna just show you how to do it. You have this blade part here and this wheel part on the other side. So you wanna take the blade and put it onto the top of the can opener and click in and listen, you'll hear it. Hear that? That's the blade going through the metal. And then you can just, whoops, and I just dropped mine. So I'm gonna show you down here. And you just twist and the can will turn around, right? So twist, 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 twist until that pops up. Now, this is a little bit thicker than sauce, so you might need a spoon to help you out. You'll take a spoon and scoop out the whole thing into your mixing bowl. How are we doing? Still scooping. All right. And then once we're done with that, we'll do water. I also like to tidy as I clean when we have downtime. So if you're tidying up as you go, we no longer need a knife and we no longer need the cutting board. How much paste? Oh, great question. So it should be 6 ounces. So most cans of tomato paste are 6 ounces. So you do the whole can. If you have a can that's 12 ounces, half of 12 is 6, so you would do half of that. I definitely took for granted the fact that everybody had a 6 ounce can, and that might not be the case. So you need 6 ounces. Okay, are we ready for the next step? Not yet. Okay, we got two. We'll wait just another minute. This next part though, what we're gonna do, I'll just tell you as we're waiting for our other friends on the call. We're gonna fill this, so what we need next is 6 ounces of water. Should be like warm water, not hot and not cold. So you might have to get up and go to the sink now, depending on where you are. So I just want you guys to be prepared for that in case you have to go a little bit farther. So is everybody ready for water? Troy, good, good. Okay, perfect. So that's what we're gonna do. We need 6 ounces. You can fill this. You can also use a measuring cup, the glass ones that say ounces on it, if you didn't have a 6 ounce can. So if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. And we're looking for warm water, right? So feel it before you put it in. And it's gonna go into the bowl too. So once you have that full can, just dump that right in. Hey Margie, I see your comment right now too. So Margie says that she didn't go to the grocery store. Sorry, but she just moved into her new apartment. That's awesome, Margie. Maybe another time you can have the English muffin pizzas. I think that'd be great. So you can watch along now and then do this later. Margie, I can't hear you. So if you want to tell me something, you can type it into the chat. Okay. All right. Does everybody have water in? Yep. Yep. Good. Okay. So next we're going to start adding the rest of the ingredients. We're going to do a lot of measuring here. Okay. So we're going to start with Parmesan cheese, and we need 3 tablespoons. So I've got my pre-grated cheese. All right, we'll open that up. In case you haven't measured before, you want to scoop it in. Now this is much more than a tablespoon. So what we would do is just use our finger to level it out. And then now that is 1 tablespoon. And I'm going to add it to the bowl that we've been putting everything in. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So if that went a little fast for you, take your time as long as you need. Make sure you get those right measurements. Although if you had more cheese, in my opinion, that's great. I see, Margie, you mentioned that you had the English muffins a long time ago. That's awesome. Tell us in the chat what kind of toppings you like for your pizza or for your English muffin pizza. And looks like we're still waiting a little bit for Parmesan. Anybody ready to move on? The next ingredient when you grab is going to be honey. And in case anybody misses anything I say, in case you haven't seen, we've got Ollie putting the measurements into the chat. So if you miss the number that I say or it gets too confusing, just check in that chat and she'll show you. You can find what we're doing there. So who's ready for honey? Troy, okay. Griselda, okay, okay. Ariana, great. And I missed it. Teddy, are we ready for honey? Great, okay. So honey is gonna be the same measurement, the tablespoon. We're gonna do 2 of them. And you might need a spoon to scoop it out because it'll be really sticky and get stuck to your spoon. Okay, so we have got it coming out. We're squeezing it into the measuring spoon, and once it gets to the top, we'll stop and pour it in. Okay, so that's full, right at the top, and now I'm gonna pour it into my bowl. Okay, and there's still some, so I'm actually using my same spoon from the tomato paste because it's all going into the same place. Scoop it in. And we've got to do that 1 more time. Okay, might need to give it a little bit of a shake. All right, and pour that in too. I see Margie's in the pepperoni pepperoni topping camp. It seems like most people are here who shared with us. That's good to know. Okay. We are done with our tablespoon, so that can go in the sink. And next we're gonna move on to spices. Looks like we might still be working on honey. Let me get a thumbs up if we're ready to move on. Okay, great, 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 great. All right, so this is where it gets a little tricky because we got a lot of different stuff going on, but just let us know if you have any questions. So next we're gonna do onion powder, and we're gonna do 3/4 of a teaspoon, okay? So that's a 3/4. Not every teaspoon set actually has that measurement. So this is where a little bit of our math and fractions come in. So if you do not have 3/4 of a teaspoon, what can you do? Well, if you have a 1/4 of a teaspoon, you can do that 3 times, and that will be the right measurement. Or you can do 1/2 plus 1/4. So you might have to do a couple different measurements. I have the 3/4, so I just have one, scoop it out, nice and level, and pour it in. All right, and next I'm grabbing my salt. I'm gonna wait just a minute to make sure everybody is ready. And in the meantime, let you know that we're gonna use 1/2 a teaspoon for the salt. And if you have one like mine, where you have to pour, be very, very careful, because if you over pour over your bowl, then you're gonna end up with like really salty pizza sauce. So if you think you might do that, just take another bowl and pour it over that to catch the extra, okay? Or over your cutting board, whichever one you want. So nice and slow, because you don't know how fast it's gonna come out. All right, and then we pour it in. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking. So like I said, if you don't want to do it over your bowl, do it over something else, so that way you don't have extra salty. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready for the next part. 1, 2, 3. Teddy, are you ready for the next one? Oh, how much salt again? 1/2 a teaspoon. Okay, so while they're still working on our salt, I'm gonna let you know which spices to grab next. We're gonna do 4 as a group because we have the same measurements for 4 spices, if you have them all. So one is oregano. So I have my oregano ready. Basil, ground black pepper, and marjoram. This is the one that I told you was optional. That's because actually the only reason I have this spice is to make this very pizza sauce. So if you're not making pizza sauce a lot, like maybe you don't have it, you can see it's really small. I don't use it that much. So you can also skip it, but it does make it taste extra like pizza sauce. So now we're working with our 1/4 teaspoon, okay, for all of these. So you can grab any which one. I have oregano first. Okay, we get a good scoop in there. Make sure it's level and pour it in. In between, you can just give it a little bit of a wipe. If you have an apron, you can just do that so you're not putting other spices into other spices. All right, next I got basil. Quarter teaspoon, and put it in. Okay, I'm gonna wipe that off. Next, I've got my 1/4 teaspoon going into ground black pepper. Okay, pouring it into our bowl. And last is our marjoram, which I have to even struggle with saying because I don't use it that much. Okay, smells like pizza sauce. Scoop that and a 1/4 teaspoon. Like I said, it's optional. Even if you're missing one of these, you could even skip out on one. Like if you're missing basil, add the oregano, maybe add a little bit more. So it's very adjustable, okay? Now I'm gonna keep going because the other two are optional. And if we need to repeat anything for anybody who's not with us, we will. So I don't know how many people are gonna do these last two. The last two we have are optional because it's cayenne pepper and it's red pepper flakes. And so these are both spicy. So if you like spicy food, they'll taste really good in your sauce. We're only using 1/8 of a teaspoon, so it will be a little bit. But if you don't like spicy or you don't have them, you can definitely leave them out. Okay, so I've got my 1/8 for my cayenne pepper. Okay, and if you do like spicy and you want to add more, go for it. Whatever you want. We got our 1/8 of a teaspoon red pepper flakes. So now I've got all my stuff in. Is everybody's stuff in their sauce? Okay. Oh, okay. All right, good. You guys are all with me. Something that I forgot to mention in the beginning, guys. This we should have done in the beginning, but it's okay. We should preheat our ovens. I wasn't doing mine because my oven will be too loud and you won't be able to hear me. But go ahead and preheat your ovens. It should be at 375. You can use a regular oven or you can even use a toaster oven, okay? So go ahead and do that now. And I'm gonna wait just a minute to let you guys do that. All right, and now we're ready to mix. A whisk is gonna work great to get this all incorporated. Okay, so you see mine, it doesn't look so appetizing right now, it just looks like some like red water. We're gonna mix it all up and then taste it and see what we think, all right? So be careful so the water doesn't splash around. So I'm going a little bit slower at first, scraping around the side to get everything. Okay, and the reason we actually added water to that is because tomato paste is really thick. So that wouldn't be the right consistency for our sauce. You could also use tomato sauce instead of doing the paste and the water. For some reason, I just like to do it this way. Okay, so now you can see mine looks a lot more like a pizza sauce, okay? And when you're done mixing, you can take a spoon, because this doesn't have to cook, it will just go right on your pizza, and give it a taste. I like that. Make sure you don't put the spoon that you just tasted back in your sauce though. So we're gonna put it in the sink. Okay, I hope that I'm not going too fast. I just wanna make sure everybody is not standing still too long. So if you've mixed, what you can get next, I feel like Margie was just laughing at my dance. You can grab your baking sheet. And I don't think I had this on the initial list, but if you have aluminum foil, you can use that because that's just gonna make cleanup a lot easier. So we're gonna just put aluminum foil onto our baking sheet. So that way, once that we bake and all of our cheese melts off of our pizza, that we can just have a nice, easy cleanup that we just throw out the aluminum foil and don't have to scrub a pan. Okay. And I'm just like pressing it down. Doesn't have to be perfect. One thing that I forgot to ask, I know a lot of people said pepperoni. Does anybody actually need to slice their pepperoni, or is it already sliced? Looks like Troy has sliced. Yeah? Sliced, Ariana. Okay, if you do need to slice, just let me know in the chat, and then we'll talk about that. You could, if you want, even cut up your pepperoni a little bit, like cut them into quarters, since we are dealing with a small pizza, but I'm just gonna leave mine whole because I just like pepperoni. Who's ready to start assembling pizzas? You're ready when your sauce is done. Great. Your pan is ready. Great, great, great. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm actually just gonna clean up my station a little bit because I don't need this anymore. But I do need this. So have your sheet, your baking sheet right in front of you. And we're just gonna build our pizzas right on there. So, English muffins. Mine are kind of already sliced, but you have a really easy way of opening this that doesn't even require a knife. So you can just take it in your hand sideways like this and push in a fork and just turn it and keep pushing in. Okay. Okay. And then gently just pull it apart. And that's a little bit better because you get like all these like little like nooks and crannies in there. That might be trademarked, I don't know. All right, so you can do that. If you don't want to use the fork method, like I said, like mine are already kind of pre-sliced. So if yours are, you can pull them apart. Just nice and careful so you don't tear them. Or you can use the fork, or you can use like a butter knife and just slice right through because they're gonna be nice and soft, okay? So if you're making for, well, it depends on how hungry you are. I was gonna say, we probably want like at least 2 halves for one person if it's a meal, maybe a little bit more if you're really hungry. So it depends on how many people you're cooking for, how many you're gonna make. So I'm cooking for 2, so I've got my 4 pieces on my tray. All right, now we're gonna grab, get rid of our whisk, I don't need that anymore. We're gonna grab like a tablespoon, not, you know, like just like a regular spoon. And we're gonna spoon the pizza sauce onto our pizzas, onto our English muffins. All right, so I have it in my thing, and it depends on how much sauce. So like if you don't like a lot of sauce, do a little bit less than mine. If you like a lot, go for it. Okay, so you see, I'm not just scooping it on there and leaving it alone. You want to then take the back of the spoon and spread it around. Okay, so that way when you take a bite into your pizza, you have everything you want. You don't have any dry spots that didn't get their sauce. All right, those look good to me. Fully sauced. Okay. All right, so if you're ready for next steps, I'm not sure how many pizzas everybody's doing, so we can wait a little while if you need to, but I mean, it's pretty, I think you guys could probably guess that next we want to put on some cheese. So if you have pre-shredded cheese, you just take out a scoop. You can scoop it with a spoon or use your hands, up to you. I think everybody has pre-shredded, right? Nobody has a block of cheese. Does anybody have a block? No, okay, it doesn't look like it. All right, so I'll show you my sheet pan again. Sorry. All right, I'm just scooping in with my hands, my clean hands. We have to make sure, right? And then just sprinkling on that cheese. See all this cheese getting on the ends? That will get burnt onto your pan and be hard to clean. So that's why we have our aluminum foil. All right. If you have some people who are big cheese lovers, give them a little bit more. You got some who don't, do a little bit less. That's what I mean about the beginning when I say that this is so adaptable. It means you can change it to however you like. Some recipes aren't like that. You have to follow it exactly, otherwise it won't taste good. But this, you can kind of do whatever you feel is best. All right. That's what makes cooking so fun too, because you get to be a little creative. You get to make your own decisions and you say, try new things, different combinations. All right, looks like we got some cheese on some people. Next, I'm just gonna do my toppings. A lot of us have pepperoni, so it's nice and easy. We're just gonna open up our bag. Pull some out. And put on how many you want. So like three looks good on that. All right, I'm gonna leave some plain. So I got 2 pepperoni, 2 plain, put that back. My hands are a little bit greasy, so I need to give them a wash. All right, how are we doing? Good, good. We got some thumbs up. I hope everything is going well. If you have one to show us, let us see. Show you my little pizza. If you're able to, oh, nice. Those look great, Troy. Awesome. So like we said in the beginning, if you guys post these on Instagram or Facebook, tag us both, Culikid and My Autism. If you tag us in those pictures, you could be entered to win a Culikid grocery bag. So it's pretty cool. Minimize some plastic waste when you go to the grocery store. All right. Oh, awesome, Ariana. Let's see. Can we, are we ready? How are you doing, Barry? All done? I'm Teddy, sorry. Great. Can we either hold up one or hold up our tray? See if we can get a picture of our final product. All right, 1 second, waiting. Awesome, Troy. You see they give you like a little spotlight there. Oh, great, Teddy. Who else? Ariana, do you have your pizza back so we can see yours on the big screen? Or is it going in the oven? Awesome, guys. Okay, well now you need to know what to do about the oven, right? So you're gonna put it in and set a timer. So we're gonna cook them for about 10 to 15 minutes once that your oven is preheated. So if it's still not at 375, just wait a little while until it gets there. Then you're gonna put it in and wait until 10 minutes. Check it. You want to see melted cheese, and if you like, you might want it to be a little bit what we call well done with some brown cheese on the top. So if that's the case, once you check it at 10 and it's not what you want it to look like, just set it for another 5 or 3 and come back and check. The important thing is when you take it out, you need to make sure to use your oven mitts. So that way you're nice and safe and you're not going to risk getting burnt. So that is it. We're going to leave you before it gets in the oven. But if you guys have any questions about it before, if you want to know how it's done or need me to repeat anything, just let us know in the chat. Seems like
I was going to say thanks, Kelly. If anyone does have any questions, please do put them on the chat. I know we have quite a few people chiming in on Facebook as well, so thank you for joining us. And be sure to add in any questions. Troy, you're right. You are the chef tonight. You should.
Yes.
That's what you.
I love that. That's what's so great about this. You know, it's a fun activity, but also you take a little bit of load off of mom or dad or whoever cooks in your house.
Yeah, it's great. And I mean, that's what we're here for this evening, for kind of this educational fun component, especially when we know everyone's at home. So we're delighted that everyone could join us. And we hope that you all have a fantastic dinner. As Kelly mentioned, we'd love for you to share the photos with us. So if you do take photos, you can email us or tag us on Instagram or Facebook, and please let us see the final result. And we really do hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. As I said, we will be sending out a recording as well as information on Culikid's upcoming events and the American Autism Association's upcoming events, because I know we both have quite a lot of virtual opportunities coming up, which is fantastic. Thank you all again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.